This ought to be awesome.
Boom shakalaka.
All right.
What is up, everybody? What is up?
Howdy, howdy.
Well, where's the Brady Bunch soundtrack? That's
Yeah, let's do that.
Hey,
You gotta turn that volume up.
Turn it up, love.
All of them had hair of gold,
Let's see. Oh, it's not
like their
gonna work.
mother, the youngest one.
I think everybody can hear it. Oh
A
my.
man named Brady, who was busy with 3 boys of his own. They were
And none of us can run ads.
sitting all together. They were
Oh,
all
what? 'Cause I'm not?
Hey, let's get myself in.
one day when the lady met this fellow.
Oh, right.
And they
Well,
knew
Brady's
that it was
awesome.
much more than a hunt.
I think everybody's channel's gonna get flagged now. Music violation.
I
Breaking
can't.
the rules. You just demonetized all of us.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Whoops.
Don't worry, guys. You only make $1,000 for 1,000,000 views. It's not worth it. Yeah. So, live stream today. Welcome, everybody.
What's up?
How's
What's going on?
Alright.
I don't know about your guys' chat, but everybody in my chat is super stoked about how Bitcoin is just soaring to the moon.
Nobody's drunk in my chat.
I was sitting upside down and it was a great chart. I was happy.
Oh my goodness. Why did it just drop off
Just turn
today?
the chart upside down. It looks really good.
That's a good way of viewing things.
Yep. Been like, this whole year's been amazing.
Yeah, this year sucks. I mean, Randall, think about it. When we were in Poland, when was it? Like November, December? Fucking hell. It was just, I mean, I remember sitting in that meal and just going, fuck, I just made like 4 Bitcoins. And like now, this year, I think I've lost close to 800 grand. And I don't know, he still managed to smile. It's like, fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
I just like, can't lose anything if I don't sell.
The amount of fucking shit I got for going to rehab, it's like, do you know how much money I've lost? Fucking serious.
All right.
Oh dear.
But you did get a sweet studio out of it.
I did. Oh man, I've got the Beetle as well. He's in my chair, my sofa.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I'm using that for my game show. I'm doing a game show called Know Your Crypto. I've got a big wheel that's coming next week. I did a few test runs. It's fucking hilarious, man. It's very, very funny. I'll have to get each and every one of you on the show at some point for it. It's the dry runs were absolutely brilliant.
That'll be all.
Got to make crypto fun in these times. Got to find something better than just
Gotta
going.
figure out something, right?
Crypto's going down, but don't worry, it's good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, guys.
Totally.
Correction.
Today there was like no news whatsoever. I had the hardest time
No.
coming up with any news. There were like 5 news articles, period. And then
No. You need to look at the news properly. It's all about me and McAfee. There's 3 articles in the news SERP about me with McAfee yesterday.
Oh.
I am the news. I am crypto. I should change the name of my channel. So that's my moment of fame.
So what happened with that?
Did you not watch it?
Not yet.
For a start, the fucking audio didn't work for the first 10 minutes. I could have died. It was just like that guy. I was just like, I was like this far from just throwing the fucking MacBook.
And
I was like, no, of all the days, why would this happen? But,
his wallet got
no,
hacked yesterday.
Who did?
McAfee.
No.
The, like,
Is that what
Bit5
your video was about?
The Bit5 wallet, somebody was playing Doom on it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
There was a 15-year-old hacker.
Yeah, 15-year-old hacker was playing Doom on his wallet.
But they didn't take any money. So
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, he said that they can access the RAM, can't they? They can't actually access the money.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a text from Chris from Omnitude just beforehand because he'd sent some text messages or sent some tweets out, and he went, "McAfee shitface." It's like, you can't say that about that guy. Totally different thing in his world.
But it would not be untrue.
Bigger news that he wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I get what you mean. I saw Gringo.
mate, so funny.
All right, so let's go around and just introduce everybody and say hi, and if you want, where you're from, and if you want your favorite cryptos. So, Megady, you can start.
Oh, so we'll start here. Megany Miner. I am from the South of the U.S.
Cool.
in a state that's very large. No, from Texas. Favorite cryptos. Let's go with Neo, Litecoin, and Cardano.
Badass. I'll go
Very-
next.
You can
All right.
I'm Crypto Love. I am from Florida, the penis of, or I can't say.
You can't say that on my channel.
I think we've already blown
Oh,
it.
Your channels are, yeah. Sorry.
Channel's already flagged.
I can't curse on your channels, can I? The dingle of America, and I am. Let's see, my favorites are Bitcoin, Neo, Cardano. Yeah, right. So yeah, sweet. And then disruption.
All right, Crypto Disruption. I'm Tommy,
Tracy.
and we're in Houston, Texas. My favorite cryptos is Hacking, Neo, and Bitcoin.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I like XRP.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say it. That and Bitcoin.
Okay, well you have to defend it now.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't have to defend anything, but I think XRP. I like XRP because of what it's going to do, not what it's doing. Just like get some of the crap out of the way. I feel like it's going to be a very versatile thing in the future. It's not there, but I back it because I think it's going where I want it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Beatles.
will say backing up XRP is a good thing to do as an influencer. It's just so much harder to go against those coins with large communities.
Yeah.
Well, see, I like
I'm a
Hacking.
crypto.
Hacking's got a good community, but it's not. I wouldn't call it large.
Yeah, it's not that large.
It's getting bigger though.
Yeah.
It's definitely getting bigger. I love crypto. Besides the majors, I'm a big fan of Certic and Rootstock. Those two coins that are coming out. Smart contracts on Bitcoin. Pretty bullish on both those. But other than that, Omisego, Neo, Cardano, Bitcoin. I mean the majors. And I'm kind of an Ethereum maximalist. I'm a huge fan of Ethereum.
Nice.
Crypto Beatles out of California and the Bahamas. Favorite coins. Well, I'd have to say Bitcoin number one. Obviously, it's how we all got here, right? I mean, it's the OG, right? Then of course I got Siren Labs. I love those guys. I love BCT, and then of course my own coin, Monarch. And, of course.
Somebody had to show it.
Nice.
Hey guys, I'm BitBoy. I'm from right outside of Atlanta, and my favorite cryptos I would say definitely are ZRX and Basic Attention Token. Big fan of both of those and what they're trying to do in the basically the industries they're trying to disrupt. And of course, also Bitcoin, which if you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, we're doing a $500 Bitcoin giveaway. So, if you guys want to head over to my channel after we're done and check that out, just got to like and comment on some videos and you can actually get some Bitcoin. So, but obviously I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist by any stretch of the imagination, but if there was one to rule them all, I mean, it's definitely obviously Bitcoin in my mind. And I think one day it probably will be the world currency. So,
One world currency.
oh yeah.
Keith.
That leave me. Yeah. So I'm Keith. Keith Waring. I'm in the Costa del Sol in Spain, in Malaga. My favorite coins. I'm gonna have to say BitConnect, Titanium.
Bitcoin Dynasty.
I'm gonna have to say like Bitcoin is the gold standard, Ethereum to transact in, and Neo for the multiplier. I mean, they're my three go-tos. They're my three store of value coins. Whenever I look at my Blockfolio, I wish the fuck it showed me. Sorry, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning here, so it's well past the watershed. Whenever I look at my Blockfolio, I just think, I'd like to be able to see how much Bitcoin, not just how much Bitcoin and Ethereum I've got, but also how much Neo I've got. Because right now, while there is so much blood in the streets, my Neo hold, my prospective Neo hold's gone up massively, and I think people overlook that. I think that's one to watch. Definitely one to watch. It's been forgotten about. Oh, baby Neo. That's me.
Baby Neo. People like baby gas, right?
Indeed. Be interesting to see what happens at 3.0. Really will be interesting what happens. Maybe it'll wake up.
I think the really interesting thing with Neo was all of the Neo economy tokens just smashed it in 2018 from ontology. That was really fascinating, and how a lot of the ERC20 tokens did really well in 2017, but kind of shit the bed in 2018.
Yeah, kind of.
2018 has been a shake-up year, though, so.
It's a correction.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but on CoinMarketCap, they now have a NEO comparative. Like, you know, if you look at the graphs, they have the market cap, the US dollar comparative, the Bitcoin comparative. I just saw they added a NEO comparative.
Interesting.
Interesting. I did not see that.
Yeah, pretty
No, I haven't noticed that either, actually.
Yeah, it might have been because I was looking at some NEO tokens. I was looking at, I forget which one, but I didn't check all of them, but I did see it there. Yeah.
Nice.
So the big question on everyone's mind then is, what's going on with this market and when's it turning around?
I thought we could discuss your shaving.
Anyone who wants to can speak up.
One thing I saw, I talked about on one of my videos recently, was, you know, it seems like everybody wants to push the price down right now. A lot of the TA people, which I'm not one of, you know, obviously believe that it's going down further. You know, I don't know what our little recent run that we did where the price went up did for that sentiment, but, you know, most people I've talked to that are TA people do believe that we're going down much further. And when we had the ETF delay announcement, obviously it wasn't super bad news. Like, it's a delay. It's not that it's not going to get approved. I mean, everything we're hearing is that it probably is going to get approved. So one thing, a tweet that I saw that I thought made a lot of sense is that basically the people that are trying to manipulate the price and push it down are choosing those times when we do have news such as the ETF delay to push the price back down. So I thought that was really interesting. I think we still have not seen it go below 6 for more than 24 hours, you know, this year. So, you know, that does seem to definitely be a strong support line. But if we do break through that, I don't know really where it will go. So that's just something I saw. So.
Yeah, I mean, between all the high frequency trading bots, all the scare tactics in the news, the ETF getting postponed, you know, the big whales coming in and buying stuff up and selling stuff off quick. Yeah, I think right now is still a pretty good time to buy it. I think towards the end of the year, that's when we're all going to be looking like geniuses, right? When we're like, oh, I was buying it at 6,000, I was buying it at 7,000. Now it's, you know, a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can't be wrong all year. I mean, that's the upshot. Sooner or later, we're going to get it right.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, I called that.
Totally right.
Broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you just look at it year over year, I mean, look at where we're at now. Look at where we were at last year. Where do you think we're going to be next year? I think we're going to be higher next year than we are right now. It's the people that are looking at their, you know, their block folios or, you know, their portfolios and their apps, you know, every single day. They're the people that are freaking out. You know what I mean? If you're thinking long term, it doesn't really matter. You just know long term, this is going to be a winner, at least in my viewpoint.
Yeah, well, I mean, the majority of the big coins, I mean, they're still kind of ahead of where they were this time last year. But I did notice that NEO today is like $6-7, so they're nearly 10% down on where it was this time last year. I think this time, well, 30% down on where it was this time last year. It's nearly $30 to the day this time last year. And obviously, what it hit like 21 today. So I mean, that's. I think now we must be at the base and we must be at the turning point. I don't think it can go any further. I mean, and like the reality is like you were saying there, Ben. Whenever there's a bit of bad news, people are just using that as an opportunity to dump and to just accumulate more because they know that people are going to panic.
Strong hands.
Just look at how many people though. You say strong hands, but you know, think about it. There's a kid that I met in Amsterdam. Okay, this guy Cryptolizer. He made 10 million last year from 5,000, and he lost. He went down. He went up to 10 million from $5,000, and now it was down in April. He was down to 2 million. He's probably down to about 1 million now. He's not considered one of the whales that's playing the game right. So there must be people that got in like 2015, 2014. These are the fuckers right now that are just playing with us. Playing with my emotions.
Just stringing us along.
Yeah, Jake, I'd be curious to know, because you're pretty skilled with TA. What do you think the effect of the futures has on overall Bitcoin? Because ever since the futures contract started being traded, price of Bitcoin has pretty much come down since December. Do you think they actually have an impact, or is this just something we're making up?
It was a combination of futures and then much more volume on leveraged trading. I mean, that's really what it came down to. And the volume dropped off significantly after it hit about 16,000. It went to 20 and volume started dropping off significantly. So, but that's where all of the amateur investors, amateur traders were buying. They were buying in at the top. And so, I mean, it's just smart money trading, and they'll do this over and over until it's no longer profitable.
Right.
I don't understand. Like the dump today was fairly predictable just because of the way that Coinbase Pro went down. When they cleared the order books, they cleared orders from like months that have been sitting there, like a $10 million like sell wall, $10 million buy wall. So they had plenty of liquidity on either side. But when they cleared the order books, well, what happens is Coinbase Pro is now the spot price for the whole index that some of these leverage trading sites use. And you've got arbitrage bots, you've got, these high frequency like quant algorithms that kind of trade with this stuff. So when Coinbase Pro came back online, that order book was so thin that it could have just, somebody could have taken 20 million from Bitfinex. They had a short stacked up on Bitfinex from, let's say, 8,000 or even 7,000 entry. Well, they could just clear the order book with just even like 200-300 Bitcoin, and then they could fill their orders at a low price at 6,000. So it was a pretty straightforward move just because the way that they cleared the order book. But that's a little bit more like complex stuff. What I would say is from a technical analyst standpoint, and I've been analyzing coins since like 2016, Bitcoin has become the most difficult coin to trade by far, due to like the volatility, due to the fact that you can make money on it when the price goes down. So you can bet against it. You can hedge against it with futures. Europe, you have options contracts. So it's become a lot more complex. You have to take in and assimilate a lot more data from a lot more places. So you have to look at where shorts are at, where longs are at, what their average entry price is. So it's no longer just like an easy, like buy Bitcoin and it goes up, or, so the volatility and the way that they stop limit hunt, I talk about this a lot on my stream, is if you guys aren't familiar with it, BitMEX and Bitfinex have private trading arms that are run by former quant traders from like Barclays, from Deutsche Bank. These guys are like, they have literally private trading arms that are market makers that provide slippage and liquidity in the trading markets. And so they can take massive losses because they get reimbursed from the exchanges. That's been documented on Bitfinex and BitMEX, and they have that USD tether whole shady side of it, which is crazy because literally they're printing a digital token and then it elevates the price of Bitcoin in cash, and then they can extract it in actual money and then put that money in the bank reserves. And so that was 2017, right? They never had the cash, and then so now they do. So it's been pretty gnarly to take in all this information as a technical analyst and really try and figure Bitcoin out. But we've got a pretty good handle on it. We've been executing pretty high level on those trades.
Oh yeah, Jake, is this pre-recorded? Is that actually you? Okay.
Back to the Future, right?
August 17th. One time, man.
Yeah, that was my brother's idea. He thought of that joke.
That was good.
This is his YouTube bot. Instead of a high frequency trading bot, we have a Jake bot.
Yeah, an Android.
Dude, awesome. So Miggity, you're going to NASCAR?
We are. I'm flying out tomorrow. We got was out last week with Beatles car on the Monarch token car, and with you, which was a good time. And, we're flying out tomorrow. Go ahead.
We saw the Monarch car get a lot of publicity.
It was amazing publicity. When your brakes go out and you hit the car and hit the wall, you get a lot of TV time. So it was good. I'm pretty sure, Beatles, you got more TV time in that 30 seconds than you got the whole race.
Hey, it's kind of like the crypto market, right? Crash and burn. Yeah.
No, but we're flying out to Detroit tomorrow. So I'll probably live stream from the race again for the rewards token. It's actually the rewards.com car. So it looks pretty amazing. They did a really good job on the car for sure.
Yeah, car looks good.
Mm-hmm. A lot of pink. Yeah.
How is NASCAR since Dale Earnhardt Jr. retired? Is
being the amazing NASCAR fan I am.
Yeah, I think they still go left around the track.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, what's funny is Love and I are walking out. We're like walking out through this like gateway at Pocono, right? And you're walking out with like the drivers and the crew and everybody. And there's people standing at the fence, like waving, trying to get autographs. And I realized that to some other people, this is a really amazing experience. And it was cool just for a guy who's not a huge NASCAR fan, but you could see that there were some people kind of looking at us like, how'd you schmucks get back there?
They're like, that's Miggity Minor. That's Miggity Minor. Give me your autograph. That was for you, buddy.
Okay. So, but no, it's a good time. I mean, it's cool. I mean, you know, in general, NASCAR is going to do a lot. It's amazing. I think as far as mainstream advertising, I think that's the problem is a lot of us are always talking to the same audience. You know, as far as cross audience goes, we're all, and it comes to ICOs, it comes to any coin out there, they're selling to the same audience. Mass adoptions, I think, would all of us agree. When it doesn't matter what stock, what crypto you look at. When you look at coin market cap, they all look the same for the most part. You have some winners who didn't die as much, or some winners who gained more. But for the most part, we all know you look at the market, and it's really has to do with market cap. And I think until we start advertising outside of the crypto market, is when we're really going to see that run. We're really going to see Bitcoin take hold the way we all think it's going to.
So, what things do you guys think are going to bring adoption, disruption? What are you thinking?
You're going to say something?
It wasn't on that, but
Oh, well, you can say what you were going to say.
no, I was going to say with all the fact that it's not so mainstream, it's interesting that the news still plays such a pivotal role in the way that the main public that's trading reacts. So it's a small portion, but it gets a lot of airtime, which tells me that adoption's already kind of there, but it's more subtle. It's not everybody, but anyone that's involved really digs into that. And they buy into these like phishing headlines, I like to call them, because it just like pulls you in. And it's usually just a lot of fluff pieces that aren't really anything, but it sounds really like terrifying. Bitcoin's in the shitter. We're all gonna die. You know, it's over. Just go ahead and cash it all in. It's done. And you're like, what?
That's the only way I make videos.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just that story today that came out where some, TA guy was saying Bitcoin is over, that one's been circulating. It's just
somebody's always saying Bitcoin's.
Yeah, but you read it. Where does it actually say why? It never actually does. It's like, here's what
his wife has been nagging at him. His wife's been nagging at him. How much money did you
Stop playing with this stuff
How much
already.
money did you put?
Well, what they said, they said if it goes below 6 and it starts to creep down below where it was at this time last year, that all of a sudden everybody's going to stop using it. And it was funny because all the replies on the tweet were all like, but I'm not going to stop using it, So, I mean, if you're in crypto and you're in it as hardcore as we are, and, most of our subscribers are, like, we're not going anywhere. I mean, if it goes down to 3,000, we're all still here. So, and I doubt anyone's going to allow it to go lower than that. So
We're just eating ramen noodles, but we're still
yeah.
I
good, though.
To Randall's point, I mean, all we need to get it to go up is just more people to put money into it, or a real solid use case, man. Once we have that mainstream use case, not the crypto kitties, man, but like the Facebook on the blockchain, we have that, dude, it's a wrap.
I think the answer to your question where mass adoption can start coming from is the things like we saw recently with the WooCommerce plugin, when it becomes easy for e-commerce sites. And unfortunately, the part with WooCommerce is you still need a developer to put that in. It's not a typical WordPress plugin where you could just, hit install and it'll upload and it'll install on it. But once they get it to that point, and e-commerce stores can have that as an option, so you can pay by credit card, pay by PayPal, and pay by crypto.
Give me a month or two. Yeah.
I think what we're seeing though is I think we're seeing the cookie crumble, right? It was we have a house of cards debt economy globally, and we saw Greece go down, we saw Iceland go down, we saw Venezuela go down. I mean, Venezuela, it's 1 month's salary to buy a chicken. I think I saw.
Yeah.
We saw Zimbabwe go down, and today we saw the Turkey lira go. I mean, I think that's creating crypto adoption. I mean, it's one by one, this house of cards global economy. That's what's going to do it. Bitcoin is the non-correlated asset class, and there's never been one before, and it's global, it's country agnostic. And I think that's what's going to cause it, right? I mean, look at what the US is doing. Look at we have our US dollars outperforming everybody simply because of our military power, right? And the fact that the oil reserve is backed by the US currency. But that's really what's going to create mass adoption, is when our governments are so irresponsible that they deflate, our currency is deflationary. Literally, the Turkish president told everybody to sell precious metal cryptocurrency and everything that they've got so they can buy the lira.
That's so stupid.
And I would do this. Why?
So I don't know if it's going to be like a DApp, but I think that like government irresponsibility and lack of trust in these governments is really what's going to create global adoption.
Yeah, even Iran is making up their own cryptocurrency. I don't know if you guys saw that, to get around U.S. sanctions, right? They're like, okay, fine, we won't use our own currency or U.S. currency. We'll create basically a digital cryptocurrency for Iran. So you can see that it's starting to take shape in different ways. The people are seeing it, the governments are seeing it. Sooner or later, we will have a digital currency.
Well, what I think we'll see also, and nobody's really talking about this too much, is we're going to see a country that's going to put their fiat and back it by Bitcoin. And I think once you see that, like the U.S. did with gold, and then Nixon took it off in the 70s, I think we'll see us like Malta, Estonia, some of these like forward-thinking countries, they'll buy enough Bitcoin by spending their fiat, and then they've got it backed by basically a blockchain asset. And I think Bitcoin's probably the one to do it.
Dude, that's a brilliant idea. You gotta go talk with CZ and get him to have Malta back their everything by Bitcoin.
They might do it.
I'm hearing rumblings that Delaware is making some moves in the crypto front with laws and some stuff. There's some inside sources that Delaware is going to make some pretty big law changes.
Whoa.
So, on the subject of adoption,
adopting Bitcoin before governments.
What was the question?
Like we're hearing Facebook, we're hearing Amazon. Do we think we need to see a large company really embrace it before?
Well, the large companies are going to embrace it probably before the governments, because the governments have no idea what cryptocurrency is, and the actual companies like Amazon and Microsoft and Facebook, they have blockchain sectors now where they have people that know what's going on with crypto. So I don't know if we need that first, but I think we're going to see it. I think, part of the reason why this ETF announcement has been delayed is because I don't even think they know what they're talking about. So
I think it's a mix. I think some of them know and they want to prevent it. So you've got that group. You've got the other ones that are like, I don't even know what this crap is. Why are we even talking about it? But
well, in Overstock, I just saw an article today on Overstock where they're pretty much a blockchain company now. They're looking to sell their retail portion of their company, of their business,
and they got a huge buy-in from Asia.
It's like, so yeah.
But always
what the biggest obstacle is though for adoption? Because I spoke at length with Derek Capo from TokenPay, Chris Momnitude, and John McAfee last night about it, and everyone was kind of ignoring the elephant in the room, and the real struggle with adoption is the whole fucking changing fiat to crypto, and crypto fiat. And like Derek went on this monologue about how he's bought a bank and how he's going to partner with Charlie Lee and how he's going, how that's going to be the way to do it. And I just kind of had this like moment where I just thought, well, hold on a minute. If the Holy Grail is to quickly and easily, without confusion, transfer fiat to crypto and vice versa, why not just remove the fiat from it? If you just start thinking outside the box for a second. If we want adoption, we've got to stop thinking in fiat terms. At the end of the day, it'd be great if Amazon said, okay, we're going to have Amazon coin now. You can trade it at Binance and you can use Amazon coin to buy anything. If you buy something with Bitcoin on Amazon, we'll automatically change it for Amazon coin, that kind of thing. That's never going to happen. The reality is it's never going to happen, because they don't need that to happen, because he's the rich. Jeff Bezos is the richest bloke in the fucking world. He doesn't need that shit to happen. Zuckerberg, he doesn't need that shit to happen. Although, do you know his sister's having an ICO?
Yeah.
Zuckerberg?
Yeah, his sister, it's
participating in it.
Pledge coin or some shit. But yeah, I mean, the reality is the minute once we get past that thinking about changing it into fiat, that's when we'll realize that we've actually already got adoption. We've already got it there, and we'll soon everyone is going to turn. All of a sudden I kind of got this eureka moment when I was talking to these guys last night. I was like, hold on a minute, no wonder the exchanges right now are being told, everyone's saying how evil they are, because they are essentially right now, they're the ones that are stopping adoption 100%. CZ and fucking and HitBTC, ShitBTC, Craptopia, all of those they're the ones that are stopping it. They're stopping it with their bot trading and demand, like KuCoin. Right? You can't list on KuCoin unless you have a market maker. So when something goes on KuCoin, people go, yeah, man, it's on KuCoin, and it's all fake. It's all fake volume. It's all shit. we're not going to get adoption until people stop playing these stupid games. And why is it we have to pay so much money to list on an exchange? Why is there not an exchange that just says, hey, like IDEX, where you can just list any crypto, or Ether Delta, you can list any ERC20? Why aren't they like that? And they just charge for every single transaction. The reality is that these exchanges don't believe in adoption. They're just in it for the grab, straight up.
And on the fake volume, Hacken just put out some stuff that was proving some of the exchanges were pumping fake volume. So
yeah, that's the market makers. I mean, that's what I was talking about earlier. They'll create like buy and sells to create inflationary volume to draw interest. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There's a company here down the road from me in Malaga, GSR.io, and they were the market makers for Ripple, for XRP. And that, you got to think, hold on, why do they need one? Right. And these guys work in the shadows, But check it out, GSR.io. Check out the site. It will surprise you.
Well, we'll get massive adoption once the people, want it, right? Because the way things work is the people all embrace something or want something, the businesses start delivering something, and then the governments try to figure out how to control and make money off of it. So I think we're starting to see that process now. We're starting to all chat about this, saying, hey, screw fiat, let's go crypto. And once you get into businesses embracing it, then the government's going to have to do it too.
Right. And I think there's definitely another side of this also, which is, everybody who's in crypto, who's invested in it, what's the buzzword everybody's got to do? You want to hodl your coins, because the price is going to go up. Well, if everybody's hodling, then nobody's spending even where you can spend it. So I think that's why what I'm really trying to, push to my channel and my audience is, hey, if you want to have some investments, have investments. But then also, if there are places you can spend your crypto, then if you want to put fresh fiat into your accounts just to be able to spend it, like, retail sites that take Request Network, that have the Request Network plugin, Rectify and things like that, then that's going to help us also. And there hasn't been really a great solution for that yet. I know a lot of people use BitPay, but BitPay has some issues as well. And obviously LightPay was a big fail. So I think we also need some more avenues to be able to spend, the currency. So we're fighting on a lot of different fronts right here. So, I mean, and really here's the truth of it, guys. The truth is, if adoption and mainstream hit tomorrow, none of these cryptos are ready. So, with the networks and things like that and the issues. So really, it probably is going to be better to kind of scale it in at a slower rate than at a faster rate, because we saw what happened in December with the Bitcoin network and things like that.
Well, 99% of tokens out there and cryptos right now, they have no utility. The only thing that crypto is good for is trading. Yep. No one's using it today. Yeah, it's a novelty to say, "Hey, I sold my car for Bitcoin."
I beg to differ. People are using Verge to buy memberships on Pornhub.
Who the hell pays for the subscription? I don't even go on the site after I fell foul to a Bluetooth speaker incident.
Well, you can use Tron and Litecoin there now too.
Okay.
Yeah, who saw the news about the Tron and the toilets thing? They've partnered with some.
I can see that. That was hilarious. That was so perfect.
Decentralized porta potties, man. Mushroom.
Unbelievable.
Have you guys ever read the book?
I love this guy, man. He's partnering with everybody. He's always doing stuff, man. Tron's always in the news. They're always forward thinking and just pushing forward, man. You got to give the
Mushroom. What a name. I mean, it gives a new meaning to the phrase mosh pit, doesn't it? It just makes it not sound very fun.
It could be fun, right? Imagine that bathroom, right? Mushroom.
Well, I think it's what we see with a lot of projects. Tron's a perfect example of whether you love it or hate it, you're on one side or the other, right? When it comes to Tron. But the one thing I think everybody has said this and people will talk about this, is the marketing behind the product is amazing. Like, they are always making announcements. They are forward thinking when it talks about marketing, even in a bear market that we're in right now. All these projects out there, I think a lot of people are sitting back waiting for the market to come back before they start spending those advertising dollars, and really missing out. So once it comes back, everybody's going to be doing the same thing. And I think we need to see that continue. Back to what I was talking about, the advertising. That's what's cool about the NASCAR. So they're advertising to an audience. There's probably less than 1% of the people inside that stadium that know what Bitcoin is, right? But we're still out there talking about Bitcoin, and we're still out there talking about crypto. And I think as we're moving, like back to the Tron case, is that they've done a good job marketing. I think that's what's really lacking in a lot of development sides, where you've got a team of developers and a lot of guys who lock themselves in a room and have the greatest next idea. The problem is nobody knows about it.
Yeah, that's what kills me, because I work in the inbound marketing field, and I look throughout crypto and I'm like, you guys, yeah, you could tell most of these companies are run by engineers, because the product's really smart, but they don't know how to communicate how they're solving a problem, a real world problem. You go to their site and they're all the sites look the same. And they got these little doohickeys that swing around in the background, but they don't clearly explain to somebody that's not in crypto. Okay, what do you do? What's the business problem that you solve? What's the actual problem that you solve? What's your solution? They don't do a good job communicating that. As a marketer, it kills me. I look at these sites and I'm just like, oh my God, you could do so much more with this, and you could be communicating, you could be doing drip campaigns, you could be doing all sorts of things to communicate and get your message out, but you don't. And it's just where we're at right now.
It's all cliche and buzzwords.
Right.
That's what it is. And
What's
you're right.
the top 5 keywords, and we're going to make all those on the site, but we don't really say what it does or the problem that it solves.
Anybody can go out there and buy a $5,000 website. It's easy
or less. Some of these are just like rinse and repeat templates.
Yeah, you can tell it's just the same thing.
Yep.
You got the same squiggly lines. They go to yours. Do you got the same squiggly lines in the background?
It's only cool so many times. I mean, honestly, cool your background moves.
Yeah, there was even that Yale article that came out yesterday where they showed that basically just attention on social media and things like that and Google can influence prices in cryptocurrency. They're completely separated from all other markets.
Yeah.
The more in the limelight it is, the more people are talking about it, the more traction it gets. It's the same with anything, though. I mean, I think that right now people probably want. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think a lot of people want crypto to go almost underground again, so that it can re-emerge better and stronger, ready for another attempt at mainstream. I think that's what a lot of people are gunning for, because there is a lot of shit. I mean, just think of some of the shit coins. Just look at them. Look at some of the names. Do you ever look through the names on the recently added list on CoinMarketCap and just go, oh, there's one the other day that was up like 200% called Tatatu. Are you fucking serious?
That's all that.
So I think that another thing is people are kind of losing sight of like the broader vision. Like I was going to ask you guys, have you guys read The Internet of Money by Andreas Antonopoulos? He has 2 versions, volume 1 and volume 2. And in there, he talks about like decentralization, true decentralization, where you can create a car that based on the blockchain, based on permissionless structure, it becomes its own corporation. Like let's say a driverless car that goes and picks up people, returns back to a charging station. That's its own entity. It can make money without anybody owning it. I mean, the same thing with the porta potty situation, right? I mean, we make fun of it, but that bathroom is its own corporation now. It's a decentralized bathroom that you can pay a credit card and you can get access to the concert or whatever, that nobody owns it, nobody touches it. It's automatically payment. It has its own bank account. But the other thing that we really lose sight of is privacy. I mean, the whole point of this is, I mean, we have encrypted money that, especially with like Monero, when you're using like Z transactions, stuff like that. But the government is so encroaching on our bank accounts and everything we do. But like, fuck regulation. I don't really need to see like global adoption, because the big thing for me was privacy, being able to transact with whoever I wanted to with nobody knowing what I'm doing. And I think that like I don't really need to see mass adoption, just because the whole point of it was a decentralized society. And I think, I mean, that's one of the things that I like to see is I'm not really like so concerned with mass adoption. It's just making sure that we continue to focus on what the hell that we're using it for, what the hell it was created for.
That's the perfect attitude. That's the perfect attitude. But like I was saying, we don't need fear. We just need that other person at the end of the transaction to say, hey, I'm willing to accept this cryptocurrency. I see the value in that. I'm happy to take that. I just sold my Range Rover to my friend for 1.2 Bitcoins. You know, if I'd suggested that 2 years ago, oh yeah, when I bought the car, oh yeah, I'm going to sell this for some lines of code one day. You know, you would have thought that was mental, you know, but the reality is I was quite happy to do that. And what was the benefit to me? The benefit to me is I don't have to pay corporation tax for keeping that money in the bank when it ticks over to the next fiscal year. And yeah, there's so much benefit there. But that's why I'm saying I think almost crypto going back underground again to kind of how it was in the Silk Road days. I think that's what people want, because they're realizing as the bigger it gets, like the more obstacles there are. So talk about tax right now. Okay, I've recently been involved talking to a project who are looking at tracking the ins and outs of crypto, so crypto can't be stolen. Now, they've got this method of almost like, you try and steal money from a bank, and you see those movies where they open the bag and it gets covered in like a blue dye. They're trying to tank crypto. And they're like, yeah, they can tank this crypto, and then they can use it to track where this crypto is going, so they can monitor the ins and the outs. It's like, hey, that's fucking great. But who's going to want that?
Well, Chainalysis
already
does that. There's a company called Chainalysis, which the IRS and the government use. Anytime you've seen KYC AML on any exchange in the world, once fiat enters and that Bitcoin gets transacted to a name, they can track it to anywhere and everywhere. After that point, the only way to really do it is just by mining new coins. That's the only way that the government really can't figure out who owns that coin unless you trade. What's that?
Monero.
Monero, baby. Yeah, that's true.
But can you put the genie back in the bottle? I mean, can you really stick it back in there?
Yeah, ring signatures. Yeah, it's tough to find out who's holding what after it breaks the key apart in 6 different places.
I mean, crypto itself. Can we actually shove that thing back in?
No, it's out, baby. It's out. Davis, he'd asked a lot of. He's been blowing the chat up asking about Tether. Randall, you want to talk about Tether?
Yeah, so basically they try and stay at $1, and sometimes it's like 98 cents, and sometimes 99 cents, and sometimes $1.01.
I think he's talking about the volatility, like when they print a crap ton of Tether, how Bitcoin rises astronomical in price, and they say that last year the price of Bitcoin could have gone up as much as 60% due to Tether alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't trust it because they haven't been audited, and they say they haven't been audited because no law firm will audit them. All they have is a snapshot that at one moment in time they had enough money that they say they do. And if you look at how much they printed last year, it's kind of obviously Jeff Bezos could cover that, no problem. But it's still, I'm not exactly sure. I don't trust it.
I mean, Bitfinex is such a sketchy company, and everything that's been involved with it has been, and I'm not going to name any names, but I mean, we know someone who's basically been associated with a lot of sketchy projects that was, associated with the startings of Bitfinex. And so when they had
just go ahead and name their name.
Well, I mean, Brock Pierce, obviously was involved in all that. So I try not to throw anybody under the bus, but
worth like $75 billion. You think he's watching our YouTube channel?
I know you're right. Well, he follows me on Twitter, so But the thing is I think now, since they did have that, it wasn't technically an audit, but like you said, they had the law firm came in, because I thought before they gave that snapshot that showed that they did have the money in the bank, I didn't think there was any way they actually had it. So I really like the way I think that Jake said it about how they were able last year to get the money to get it to match 1-to-1. But I don't feel like now it's the whole market is balanced on what happens with Tether, because I think if Tether had came out and they didn't have what they said they would have, I think the market would have shot way, way, way down. But overall, I tell my people to use something else. If you're going to use a stable coin, use True USD, which I'm also not a huge fan of. But I think when Circle comes out with their stable coin, and there's a lot of other stable coin options other than just Tether to use. So I think the more that the market is diversified with stable coins, the better off everybody's going to be, because let's say one of them does turn out to be a scam and it totally falls apart. Well, all the eggs are not in that basket. So I'm hoping that over the next year or two, we're going to see that. And, Tether isn't going to really be an important, topic of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just ask a question, since we're calling like Tether a scam, and it's interesting that this kind of gets called a scam. I mean, have you ever tried to go to the bank and take money out? Do they actually have it's called fractional reserve?
You're 100% right.
I would love for them to prove that they have the money in the banks.
Well, we know they don't. We're having.
Well, I mean, it's just like Tether. I mean, there's no difference. I mean, it's the same difference.
Yeah, but Tether promised that they weren't. We didn't think we were getting that. We didn't think we were getting that with Tether. They're not supposed to be doing fractional reserve banking. That's the whole fucking point.
What's crazier is our money actually comes from a private corporation called the Federal Reserve Bank that isn't even part of the government. You know what I mean? And all of our social security numbers are promised from the government to pay them back.
Yeah. When we turn 18.
Yeah. We're securities.
Exactly.
That brings up a good point, though. I think that out of all the shit that we've got right now, tokens don't offer really equity, and that's really the problem for institutions. Like, I know there's a lot of VC funds that have done really well just by flipping ICOs, but I think what's going to come out of crypto is security tokens and creating liquidity in illiquid markets. I think that's probably what's going to create mass adoption on the financial tech side. Personally, I'm pretty stoked to see a lot of that start to come. Because I mean, you could take U.S. companies, create a security token, and then sell them overseas, or you can create, real estate. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. And 0x, like Ben mentioned, I think that they're by far and away leading the charge on that exchange mechanism for the protocol layer.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So, any other questions?
So, has anyone else got coin market cap up? Because it's fucking horrible.
No.
I haven't seen how bad. It's just got $20.
I just pulled up some of mine, and
200.
I'm gonna just drink.
Yep. Not that I'm saying that's a good idea.
No, I'm gonna make.
Hey, it's Friday. Let's go.
Yeah, VJ down almost 20%. That's crazy.
There's still some really good trades in the market right now, though.
It's a great time to be buying right now.
It's a great time to buy. I mean, that's exactly it. That's
anything you had your eye on, man.
Is anybody else tired of saying it's a great time to buy?
No, because it doesn't stop being true.
Because, like we said, in 6 months or a year, people are going to look and they're going to be like, man, I wish I would have bought when it was $6,000. Just like, some of us that weren't in it, 4 or 5 years ago are like, man, I wish I would have bought when it was $20 or $700.
I wish I bought Tether when it was 98 cents.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, if you're picking great projects right now, projects that offer real value, I mean, today's a steal. If you're trading this stuff every day, every hour, you might lose your ass. But if you're investing in a good project, like you said, a year from now, we're all going to be
all my investments.
Like Monarch token?
Yeah. I like to hold all my investments 3 to 5 years. So, I'm not swing trading or day trading. I know some people can do really good at that. It's just like we said when we were talking last time, Crypto Love. I got 4 kids and a job, and so I don't have the energy to do that. But I do have the energy to find a project that I think is a really good, solid project, and that over the course of a few years could be successful, and invest in that. And when the market dumps red and people are selling, I'll gladly buy if I think it's a worthwhile project.
Yeah. It seems like when the market's going up, everybody just wants to know it's the next moon coin. And when the market's going down, everybody just says, "Oh, this was such a terrible idea. I knew it was worthless. It's going to zero, blah blah blah."
Yeah, and I think it's so crazy. Like we've gotten what we asked for, like for people that got in around, Christmas time or before, everybody got totally wrecked, and everybody was saying, "Oh man, I wish I just could have got in before those prices, before everything started going up." And it's like hearing everybody's like looking the gift horse in the mouth. You know what I mean? Like if you got extra money, buy. If you don't, sell something. Sell a car or something. Not financial advice, of course. I've got a lot of big changes coming in my personal life with some stuff that I'm doing, and that's all I'm thinking about is how can I get some more cash to put in, because I mean we can't ask for better right now. I mean, it might drop more, but even if it drops more from here, like these are still at incredible prices. And I'm with I think what Keith said earlier. For me, it's how much further really can we fall? I mean, we've got VeChain down like 100%, so, hopefully we won't see too far more of a fall. So I think, for people that are asking me about getting into crypto, like people in real life, not on my channel, I'm telling them it's a good time to get in right now. Cause I think we are at least somewhere near a bottom.
Well, I think we hear the story, the famous story, the 10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Love pizza.
Hear people talk. Oh, I wish I got into Bitcoin at this point. I wish I got into Bitcoin at this point. Well, they look at it. They're not thinking. You're talking 3 years ago, and so when you look back, you're making these wish tos when you're sitting here today going, "Man, I bought 5 days ago and it's down." You totally not have the right perspective as far as long term goes, because I think people are, unfortunately, in the crypto market, they really are. I mean, those of you who knows, I do a lot of bot trading, and it's funny. People will question me. It's like, man, I've been in this position for 3 hours, and it hasn't gone up yet. And it's that perspective of they want the instant gains right away without realizing that you actually need to research a project and invest in something that truly has a long term future, and make wise investments. It's not going to, the god awful stories about people putting their rent into crypto, hoping to turn it off, get it back out a month later. Those are the you want to hear. And they don't necessarily see it as a long-term investment. They lose that perspective. They like to think about it when they think back, oh, I wish I could have bought it $10 of Bitcoin. They're not willing to put the time and wait to where it's, we're all Bitcoin's sitting at 200,000 and we're all going, man, I wish I could have bought it at 6,000.
Well, how do you think the people felt that bought in at $20 and then it dumped to $2?
They were crying. Yeah.
At the same point, it's like, but nowadays, if you would have bought in at $20.
Yeah, but it's a now society. Like, you got your phone here, you're checking your market, you're refreshing. You're like, oh my gosh, you guys said this was going to go. It's been 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, isn't it? The Lambros, they just think, oh, I can buy it now and it's gonna go up massively. But that's got to be harming. I mean, December's got to be harming adoption as well, don't you think? There's people that went in hard, especially the Wall Street guys that went, I'm going to spend my blow budget this month. So like 40 grand, like 4 Bitcoins or 3 Bitcoins, and they've gone, yeah, brilliant. And then all of a sudden, that's worth jack shit. That's got to be hurting. That's going to be hurting a lot of people. And like the old phrase, if you have a good experience, you hardly tell anyone. But if you have a bad experience, you tend to tell the world. That's one of the biggest problems right now. We've got these echoes. I think these lot of echoes go, yeah, don't know Bitcoin. Remember it's 20 grand, and I think until that stigma's gone. But then again, ultimately none of us know what we're talking about. So who knows?
We've seen different markets.
I'll dust down the crypto book.
Yo, guys, just a heads up. I'm going to have to take off in like 9 minutes just because I have a cacao ceremony and ecstatic dance to go to tonight. So.
Awesome. Where are we going?
I don't think he's joking.
Yo, but Beatles, didn't you want to share something?
I do, man. I do. I told you that next time I was on your channel that I'd make a little announcement, but since everybody's here, might as well just take the floor and do it now. But you guys all know that, I'm the co-founder of Monarch, right? So crypto is very confusing. We're trying to make it easy. Basically, for people that don't understand, there's a wallet that's available now. You guys can go download. It holds like 1,600 different cryptocurrencies. We're going to have merchant plugins to be able to plug into your bank, be able to do fiat to crypto, all that kind of cool stuff. But we've been growing, this thing a lot with lots of partnerships. And, we've just been really humbled. And it's just such a huge honor, man. We just brought Eric Lee, the co-founder of LinkedIn, onto our team. So the co-founder of LinkedIn just joined Monarch. Wow. So we're super honored.
Dude, that's huge.
Well done, man. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, it's so humbling, man. LinkedIn, man. Eric is such a stud. And that's just like
we had lunch the other day.
That's like the first part. I mean, there's so much more to come from this, but we'll talk about that later. But I just wanted to say, wow, big thanks to Eric, man, and all the cool stuff that he's done and doing, and what an honor for Monarch, man. So there it is.
That's awesome. Congrats.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Awesome. Beatles, whilst I've got you, actually, can I get you on for an interview to talk about Monarch one day? One day next week tomorrow. Some people were asking about it the other day. I'm actually on your site, by the way. That's what I've been looking at throughout the whole stream. I like that. I like the background. Nice.
Hello. Yeah, say when, man. I got a bunch of interviews going on this week and some speaking engagements next week and partnership stuff, but I will definitely make time for you, man. It'd be great.
Well, I've got other wallets. I wouldn't mind having maybe like 2-3 different wallets on at the same time, having a bit of a mass debate. It's all good fun.
Yeah, actually, I think it's the only wallet that's out there right now that you guys can actually add your market cap, have your keys, your seed, your portfolio tracker, news tracker, every single ERC20, your Bitcoin, your Monarch. And I guess I'll go ahead and tell you this on the channel too, Ripple for you this weekend, we're actually adding Ripple to it. So that's going to be
wow. Dude.
Awesome.
That's like the only wallet that does Bitcoin, ERC20 tokens, and Ripple, yeah?
that I'm aware of. It's decentralized. It's 100% decentralized. So
there you go.
Hell yeah. Congrats, man.
Love that. I think it's going to be huge. I love Monarch. You know, we had you on the show talking about it, and you know, I think you're doing big things with it, and I think this is going to be a pretty successful project. So I did a review of it on my channel also. So you know, if you guys ever want to see what it looks like, you can head on over there. I pretty much go over every setting on it. So
I'll have to check it out. We just did a couple weeks ago. We reviewed 3 different wallets. We were doing sort of a series on how to protect your crypto. So yeah, we'll check that one out too.
Yeah, it's free. It's on Apple, and in a couple of weeks we'll have it on Android. We just added a bunch of new features to Android, so it's kind of pushed back the release date a little bit. But I think everybody's going to love the stuff that we added to it. So hopefully it's worth it.
Very exciting.
Well,
hey, while we're all shilling, we do a video of the week where we give $50 worth of Ethereum away. So subscribe and put your ETH wallet in there. We make it real easy. In the title, it says video of the week.
Like literally.
Nice. Yeah, all the links are in my description.
Yeah, baby. Okay. Well, I give away $100 on every episode.
I'm not there yet.
I give
got the
nothing
shill alert
away.
on.
There you go.
Way great advice.
Yeah, everybody gets to look at my beard on my episodes, so you know, just
And it's an epic.
I'm coming for you.
That is one sexy beard, man. It's even got handles.
Look at like some of your first ones, and there's no
Okay.
beard.
See, but I'm going to be real. When I was looking at your stuff and I went back, I was like, oh my God, who is that? What is that? Never do that if you keep that beard on that face.
Okay, right on. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Messages there.
I appreciate that. So where are you guys going next? What have you got upcoming? You going to any conferences or anything, or NASCAR events? Where can people find you? Just that stuff before I pop out.
Cool. I think everybody here is going to be the voice of blockchain, right? So we got that coming up. We got, I think, a Token Fest. We got there's like 2 in San Francisco next week. I'll be at Crypto Beatles on YouTube. What else you guys got?
I'm also going to be at Voices of Blockchain. Going to have my own booth there. Pretty excited about that one. There's going to be a lot of good people there. Also going to be at World Crypto Con. That's not until Halloween though. So got that going on. You guys can obviously find me on Instagram and Twitter also. Bitboy_hodl, and then of course my channel Bitboy Crypto. So a lot of exciting announcements coming up on our channel, but we're not going to show them here.
You can keep the sign away. It's okay.
I wanted to pop back up, so I had to be careful.
His opening statement.
Yeah, I showed him my opening statement for sure, but I won't do it again.
I'm going to Voices of Blockchain, Coinvention in Philadelphia at the end of August. And then World CryptoCon. Right?
You're going to be out next week with me, right?
Hell yeah. Heck yeah. I mean, for all of you who monetize your channels, heck yeah.
It's hard. The horse is already left.
That's gone.
That's okay. I'll pay you guys $100 a month. That's, like,
There was a
I
couple.
don't
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
about what
possible
you
to
get,
make
right?
money from monetizing a channel. Like, yeah. Or not that much. But who else? Miggity? You going anything?
Yeah, so we're still finalizing the plans, but possibly sitting with you on at the Litecoin Summit on the panel there. So still working on the details for that in San Francisco. So that'll be fun.
That'll be badass.
That's September, isn't it?
August.
The Litecoin Summit.
August.
It was August already. Jesus.
Yeah. Yo, Keith, where are you going to be?
It's like halfway through the month.
Just D10E in Gibraltar. That's the only one I go to. Just 'cause it's like around the corner from me. On this, it's fucking awesome. Went last year. It's on the Sunborn Casino Yacht Hotel. It's really, really awesome. Yeah, it was good last year. I didn't really know anyone last year, so this year will be quite interesting. So yeah, but there's so many startups now in Gibraltar, so it's quite an interesting thing. A huge number of the ex-gaming people now, like 888 and all these big places that flock to Gibraltar for regulation. For gambling regulation, are now flocking to Gibraltar for crypto regulation. So there's a lot of opportunity there. There's not just it's just not these ones where you're going to literally where it would be just a bunch of influencers walking around. It's actually pretty interesting. So yeah, you should come. It's great. It's great. It's a shitty little rock, but it's all right.
Jake, how about you?
I'm conference style, man.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Disruption.
Don't have anything coming out. I did mention 4 children, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have 4. One's going to college. We have 3 that
And
So
if
you
it's
don't-
Texas, then it'll be, that's a lot
on
easier.
popping, but.
Yeah, just nothing on the schedule right now.
But feel free to, if you want to bring us, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Gotta say big thanks to BitBoy for that thumbnail, the Brady Bunch thumbnail. That was legit as
Thank
all
you.
get
Appreciate
out.
that, guys.
Dude, well done. Anybody else need to say anything?
I was going to say thanks, Randall, for organizing this, man.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do this again.
It was nice meeting those that we
This
haven't.
is awesome. Yeah, this is awesome, and we should all do it again for sure.
Yeah, and we can get Crow to come on, and we can get
Got 2 open spots.
all these other
come on.
people. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. All right, well, let's do it again. People are asking for it again. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Happy Friday to everybody.
Happy Friday.
Cool.
Yeah, boy.
It's actually Saturday where I am.
Okay, happy Saturday.
All right.
Happy Saturday.
Peace.
All right.
Take it easy. Peace.